Welcome to tonight's edition of the Davidson College Ecological News Station, bringing you the most up-to-date news on your environment. Hello, I'm your host, Rupert Burns. First on the docket tonight, we have a very special report brought to you by our South Florida ecology correspondent, John Harvey. John? Thanks, Rupert. Over the past few months, I've been putting together a very special report on the Florida Everglades. Take a look at this special report. The Everglades, a 2 million acre freshwater wetland ecosystem in southern Florida. The ecosystem of the Everglades is dominated by sawgrass marsh and is home to a vast array of plant, reptile, bird, and mammal species. However, starting in the mid-19th century, the Everglade ecosystem has been subjected to significant alterations by human interaction. Since then, government and private developers have drained the wetlands in order to provide more land for agricultural and urban expansion. In fact, 65% of the original wetlands have been drained. The Central and Southern Florida Project for Flood Control and Other Purposes, the CNSF project, was a plan approved by Congress in 1948. The CNSF project constructed hundreds of miles of levees and canals to control the hydrology of the wetland system. This altered water flow has had major negative impacts on the wildlife of the Everglades, as it changed water quality, quantity, timing, and distribution. Developing agricultural land in the Everglades has also had devastating impacts on the ecosystem. The Everglade Agricultural Area, the EAA, comprises of 526,000 acres of farmland. The EAA is a highly regulated system, which is constantly being drained and irrigated. All this water use leads to significant runoff and excessive nutrient loading in the wetlands. I caught up with Dr. Ralph Baxter, Everglades ecology expert, to ask him a few questions about the EAA. Yes, when runoff from the EAA drains in to the Everglades, it carries with it many compounds, and usually the amounts of these compounds that are entering into the wetlands is quite staggering. For instance, from the years 1979 to 1988, an annual average, and now this is per year, an annual average of 205 metric tons of phosphorus entered into the Everglades. 205 metric tons. Think about that. Fortunately, since the 90s, there have been significant restoration efforts made to help save the Everglades. The Everglades Forever Act of 1994 attempts to cut down the phosphorus load entering into the Everglades. One way it hoped to accomplish this was by installing 6 stormwater treatment areas which will remove phosphorus before it enters into the Everglades wetlands. Although human impact has been great on the Everglades ecosystem, there is still hope, as many restoration efforts strive to bring the Everglades back to its original pristine state. Thanks for tuning in. I'm John Harvey, DCENS.